back from the couch yet?
We left room for you, James.
Hell yeah. Or is that room for Jesus?
Oh,
No.
This is not that kind
I
of
haven't left
office.
room for Jesus since like 1954.
If people want to do that, they can do that on their own time.
Yeah.
I mean, who am I to judge?
Sure.
But
Only
All
Judge
right.
Judy can judge me.
that's true.
Yo, Urson,
Does she have legal-
gifted?
Does she have legal authority in Canada, though?
Probably not.
'Cause I don't even think she can judge you.
Yeah. Moral authority, though.
All right, I think people were waiting to sub because that's like 20 gifted subs right there.
Oh my goodness.
We are so close to capping this thing. What do we got? That's gotta be it.
8 hours?
It is. Holy.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, there we go.
Nice.
We are capped.
Good job, team.
Hell yeah, capped and already well into pizza.
Almost pizza.
So what's going to happen now is you can see the little pizza up top there. That number is going to count down to 0. You can see right there, it just went down by 10 because Eitsu gave 10 gifted subs. Thank you so
it's
much.
a countdown. Nice.
So yeah, it's a countdown. So the math is exactly the same. Pretend that those are minutes. So a tier 1 gifted sub, regular sub, resub, or prime sub will take it down by 1. A tier 2 will take it down by 2, and a tier 3 will take it down by 5. And 400 bits will take it down by 1, 800 by 2, 1200 by 3, kind of so on and so forth.
Did we buy the water balloons already?
No, I'll be doing that this morning. Just in case, just to make sure. So yeah, and then once that hits 0, that will turn into I assume, a dilly bar or maybe an ice cream cone. I don't know what Paul did. And then presumably after that, it will turn into water balloons.
I like random triggers. Like Heather knows what's up, and like I'm the one who suggested it.
Was it your suggestion?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember.
Water balloons?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, right. My
Yeah.
suggestion.
Well, I mean, ultimately it was, can we put James into a dunk tank?
right.
But that was like, that's a lot.
That was the genesis.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was first, Heather was like, I have a bold vision. And it's that we're going to get a dunk tank in here and we're going to immerse James
It's a bold
fully.
vision that I
Oh,
already
yeah.
told people about on Rhythm Cafe, so it'd be really cool if we could do it.
Okay. That got negotiated down to water balloons, and for some reason I was like, what if it's cold? What if we fill the balloons with hot chocolate? Which was
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Kathleen's like, what about burning fluid instead?
Yeah.
We'll
What
just
if we
scald them.
Yeah, exactly.
I was thinking it would have been warm, not cold.
Not, yeah.
And, you know, bath water temperature.
Oh. This is going to be a fun hour and 45 minutes. Hey everybody, welcome to Coffee with James and friends.
Yay.
We've got 3 friends this morning. We got a Kathleen, we got a Heather, and we got a Jordynne. Hell yeah.
How lonely have your other mornings been?
So morning 1 was me and Adam. Morning 2 was me, Jacob, and Cameron. Morning 3 was Alex. Morning 4 was Jacob. And now we're 4.
Nice.
It's been good. It's been a lot of fun, honestly. I have enjoyed these morning streams. Thank you, everybody, so much for all the subs and the bits in the last couple minutes here. Really appreciate it. See if we can knock out pizza before we wrap up.
Yeah, I'd like lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, all 3 of these things are happening today,
Yeah.
for what it's worth. Like, the pizza will be here probably around like 12:30, 1 o'clock. We'll do the ice cream basically right after, assuming we get there, and then we'll have the water balloons as well. So like all of that will happen in the finale. You will see all 3 of those things today, assuming we make it. So,
And if we don't, well,
yeah.
that's
I
nice.
think there are many people who are very excited to see James get hit with water balloons.
I think so. I think there's a lot
Just
of people
based on the
here.
fact that you have a spray bottle on your home stream.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people here excited to throw water balloons at James.
Honestly, I'm quite neutral on the whole thing.
Yeah, that part wasn't really.
You just want to
A driving force.
Just wanted
I just
to
thought it
throw
would
it
be
out there
funny.
into the universe.
Yeah.
It's funnier if you have a specific person you want to target, as opposed to be like, oh, let's just all get like water balloons.
That's true. Yeah.
The important thing is, James, is that you're a good enough sport to be able to take this. If somebody
yeah.
suggested that just of me, I probably would die. Like, I would crumble to dust. I'd be like, I can't be cold and wet.
Oh, I'd
God.
never suggest that kind of thing for you.
Yeah,
Like, that's something different.
physically.
Probably just like, how many blankets can we wrap around Kathleen?
That's more what my frail body and ego can tolerate. I don't ever hang out with any of you guys on stream, so this is very fun.
I mean, yeah, that's been basically, other than me and Adam,
Yeah.
I was like, Alex, I don't think you and I have ever actually like had a conversation for 2 hours straight, just the two of us. It was same with Jacob. I was just like, this is weird.
I think I've been on stream with James like maybe once, maybe twice.
Well,
That's
I've-
not like a CTS or something.
I've started every morning asking how people's childhoods were.
Jesus Christ!
Now we know why nobody goes on stream with you. You do that to Uno and Surge every day?
Oh yeah, every Tuesday, yeah.
So this is like, I thought this was like chill morning hangouts, but this is an endurance chat show.
Yeah, exactly.
experience?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so much more into this vibe now, James. I had no idea.
So tired.
This is early even for you, huh?
Yeah, I was up at 4 for some reason today too. Like my alarm is
Yeah.
for this week has been set to 4:45, but for some reason I just woke up at 4 today.
I went with 3:30,
Ooh.
which wasn't great because I think I finally fell asleep at 11.
Ugh.
I went to sleep at 1:05, or maybe no, 1:15. I woke up at, well, many times during the night. Let's be honest here. But technically at 5:15, and then at one snooze later, and then at one snooze later, and then left here and got here just on time.
Okay, yeah.
Any weird dreams after last night?
No, I was just so tired, but only sleeping in 90-minute increments due to stress. So.
Yeah, that'll happen.
We do that thing where it's like, I have to get to the airport really early,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
sleeping's not really happening.
Yes, exactly. Well, I had a little oopsie boingo because I was supposed to be on one of those days earlier. I was supposed to be with Jacob, but I completely slept in and missed it. So. Jordan, how did you get up and come here? What was your wake up time?
I set my alarm for 5, and then one for 5:15 when I knew that. Yeah. And then I got up and I got dressed, put my makeup on in 5 minutes, and hauled ass in here.
It's my alarm
Hell
set
yeah.
up. It's just like every 15 minutes, and then 5 minutes before, because I'm like, I can't make it there in 5 minutes, but I could come late.
Yeah, you're like, I could be on the road in 5
There'll be
minutes.
other people.
Yeah, I respect the post 5 a.m. game.
Yeah.
We were also here very late last night.
Yeah. Well, so like to me, 5:30 is the time that I wake up in my time zone with the times because I wake up at 8:30. So it's just that I had a very late night and I woke up at the normal
At
time.
the normal time? Yeah. Heck yeah. Well, nobody's talked about their childhood yet.
Jesus, well, you got to go first, James.
Yeah, dude.
I've already talked about my childhood.
We weren't there.
It was boring and nice.
Oh, that sounds
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, exactly.
James, this is like,
Who else? I think Alex also was like, it was fine. Jacob had a time.
I mean, I guess in the grand scheme of things, it was probably fine, but I definitely think there's a bunch of emotional trauma I'm not willing to unpack. Certainly not in front of this audience.
Yeah, you don't want to do it at 6:20 in the morning on Twitch?
I don't want to do it at any time on Twitch or YouTube.
All right. Well, then instead, we talked about books a lot in the last couple days. Anybody reading a book lately?
I'm reading like 8 books at once.
I don't understand how people can read so many books at the same time.
books are fun.
Yeah.
I agree. I like books. I can barely read one book at a
You do
time.
like different genres?
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
That probably would help.
And also like some of them are like PDFs, some of them are physical books, some of them are audiobooks.
Yeah, you got like your nighttime book, your
Yeah.
like, I can take this on the bus book,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Let's see. Let me look at my Goodreads. I am reading the first Vampire Chronicles book, Interview with the Vampire, the third Murderbot book, Rogue Protocol, a book called The Eyes Are the Best Part, Mayflies, Babel, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, E.E. Cummings' Complete Poems 1904 to 1962, The Diary of a Bookseller, and I've also just been chipping away at the Pride and Prejudice manga.
Oh my god.
Nice.
You have the best taste in books.
That's
I'm
a
so
lot of
impressed. Oh my god.
So like realistically, how long until those books that you just listed are done?
I mean, it depends book to book, because like, so the E.E. Cummings is a tome. Like, there's like 1,400 pages. Like, she's thick. So
Oh, that's like 6 books.
Yeah, yeah. So but it's all E.E. Cummings poetry is all like word next line, 3 words next line. So
okay.
yeah, like
Okay, that's less hard.
But at the same time, I will say, when you're reading poetry, you just want to be like,
yeah,
but because there's like 6 words on the page, but you're like, no, I've got to think about this.
exactly. And then so Diary of a Bookseller is an actual diary. Like he's published, it gets nonfiction, which is really cool. And it's this like grumpy Scottish man being like, the cat's outside the shop again, he's pissing everywhere. I don't want my books to smell like piss. It's so funny. So I keep it in my bathroom and I just like read it while I'm brushing my teeth, because it's like always 2 paragraphs at a time. So I'm taking a year to read the book.
You have a brush your teeth book?
Yeah.
That's fucking wild.
But yeah, The Eyes Are the Best Part is really good so far. It just came out. It's about this immigrant Korean family, and their father leaves, and their mom has like a mental breakdown about it, and she starts to get very much into like the scarcity mindset, and is like, we need to eat everything that I put on the table. Don't lose anything. You have to eat the eyes on the fish. And the daughter's like, we don't want to eat the eyes on the fish. And eventually she does, to please her mother. And her mother starts dating, and I think eventually marries, a white guy who is very clearly a fetishist. And the daughter keeps looking at how beautiful his blue eyes are and how much she wants to eat them. And it's just like a very good like slow burn horror about killing a racist.
All right.
Yeah. And that's my sleep bit. That's my sleeping bit. Oh, I'm also reading this like really good unpublished manuscript, but I can't talk about it.
But I did think of a childhood story that is possible to tell at 6:23 in the morning without really bumming everyone out.
Hell yeah.
This is the story of why I like Bloom County, which is a comic strip which was very, we'll say, inspirational for my sense of humor. So when I was a kid, this I can't believe this happened, but it turns out a lot of shit can happen if people are not entirely sure what's going on. But when I was a kid, I was sent unsupervised to the public library after school with my younger sister when I was like 10, and she was like 8, because there was no one who was willing to watch us at home. So we did that for like a year, and we would just hang out at the back of the public library. Boy, the public library is not a very interesting place if it's like not a very big one, because it's in a strip mall in Coquitlam.
Oh, wow, yeah, okay.
But you know what they did have was a selection of comic strips. And after I dutifully and I would say plowed my way through Doonesbury, because I didn't understand any of it because I was 10. But you know what? There's only so much entertainment value you can have as a child. After I did that, then I eventually found Bloom County, which was actually quite funny to 10-year-old sensibilities by comparison. It was also better than Kathy, which was just awful.
Darn. Back.
But like I had all of these old like comic strips just hanging out in like the back corner. And so yeah, but eventually they were like, look, we're gonna have to call social services, which was a good thing. Honestly. Yeah. But, you know, and so my library time came to an end, but I did develop an enduring love for Bloom County. So that's a childhood story, James.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
I just finished Colors Magic again last night. Hell yeah. Because I was like, I need something to read, but something I already know, because I want to fall asleep while reading. And if there's something too exciting, that's going to be rough. And I've also been reading the World of Warcraft boss fight book.
Nice.
The what? World of Warcraft, what is that?
Boss fight book. You haven't heard of the boss fight series? There's on the boss fight books is a book publishing thing that dude started because he wanted to write about video games. He got a bunch of his friends to write about video games, and so this is the World of Warcraft one. And usually it's like there's a game as a topic, and maybe that person will delve into the game, but they'll probably delve into like their personal experiences with the game and how they interacted with it.
Oh.
So this one has like a guy when he was like about 15, basically getting so addicted to World of Warcraft that his parents tried to like ban him from playing.
Uh-huh.
So he clearly like kidnapped his computer, pretended he was going on a camping trip with some friends, met up with his guildies that he'd never met, like he'd met once in real life to go do a LAN party.
Oh my god.
And his parents didn't find out until he was writing the book.
Oh my
and I'm
god.
like, dude.
What? That sounds dope. I want
Yeah.
to read that. That sounds great. I've never heard
really
of
like
those
them.
before. What's it called? I'm writing this down. I've gotten a lot of good recommendations last week about stuff.
If you just look up boss fight books.
Boss fight books.
Yeah, I read the Bible Adventures one last week, which really was fun because they talk about how NES games were really hard to make at the time because Nintendo was like, no, you have to like buy our carts and you have to do all these things, and so people were trying to circumnavigate that so that they could make cheap games to try to make a buck really quick off of the market that was starting to flourish again, and how that coincided with trying to market games at Christians. So like Bible Adventures and like all these other Christian style games that were, some of them were reskins of different games. And the reason that really took off is they were like, oh, people are really into buying Christian stuff because it's safe for your kids.
Right.
And if we sell these games at like Christian bookstores, which is a big market thing, Nintendo can't pressure them to not sell our third-party stuff that we haven't properly licensed.
So
Because they don't sell any video games normally, and they don't care. It's really interesting.
So basically, it was just like there was no Jesus-y intent behind this. It was all just, let's just make a quick buck and
some
exploit people whose beliefs we don't really respect.
For some people who worked there was, because they were like, oh, I'm really interested in doing that kind of thing, but they like worked really shit hours. And
Right.
They were exploited by the people who own the
yeah.
company. Capitalism.
Are those books physical? Are you reading them like physically,
I'm
or-
reading them digitally, but you can buy them physically.
That's cool.
Andrew's got a bunch of them.
And I'm definitely gonna check those out now.
They got really neat covers because it's just like the Earthbound one, I think, has like just a baseball bat on it.
Yeah, I
But,
just
like,
saw the photos.
Yeah,
They
Mario
look
has like
very
a
minimal,
leaf, and
but yeah.
they look neat to me.
I'm ready to coffee.
Me too.
Do you want more coffee?
Yes, please. That was instant coffee I made at home.
What do you want? What do you take in your coffee again?
So much. Wait, can I say? I'll give
yeah.
you my mug. I would like 3 sugars and like a ton of cream.
Like sugar, or do we have sweetener? Or?
Oh, just like I don't know, like a teaspoon.
Okay.
Like 2 teaspoons of sugar. That's probably a ton.
That's true. Andy just published a book.
He did.
Yeah, that came out. He announced that yesterday.
Yeah, I had no idea he was even working on it. Did you?
No, I saw his he was making these posts that were like 5 days to go, 4 days to go, and these really cute like stick figure drawings, like going
Yeah.
through a dungeon or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this about? And I saw someone ask, and he was like, you'll find out soon. And I'm like, all right. And yeah, he had a book. What's it called?
I was thinking about Andy the other day because I will say that we have similar circumstances in creativity. And I was like, I wonder whatever happened to that book that Andy was working on. And I was like, I should follow up with him. And then like the universe was like, here it is.
Right, Astrid Falls, A Legend of Vancouver.
That's so, it's amazing.
So if you go to andrewcoundenbooks.com, I think there's like a little prologue sample. Rad. I also just got the Odyssey out of the library because I was like, oh, you know what? Why not?
You just activated Jordynne.
I'm definitely more of an Iliad girly, but the Odyssey is a banger.
I was reading Tomorrow, and they mentioned, like, as they were going through the book, the publishing of their game or whatever, one of the characters was like really obsessed with trying to get the other characters to read more about like the hero's journey and stuff, and they brought up the Odyssey, and I was like, I've never actually read that. I should do that.
Yeah.
And so I have a digital version from the library because I'm not going to go buy the Odyssey.
Do you know who the translation was by? Because that is something, that's how deep in the weeds I am. That's how I'm like.
I saw you activate, and so like after
Emily Wilson.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah, I heard this one was good.
Yeah.
so Jordynne Jordynne was telling me about the Iliad and why it was a banger because she described it as self-insert fanfic, and I was like, I'm already really impressed.
That's the Aeneid.
The Aeneid. Okay,
Yeah,
see,
it's self-insert fanfic of the Iliad. That's yeah.
But the point being, Jordynne described things in a memorable and enjoyable way. So give us your like your elevator pitch for why the Iliad rules.
Hector of Troy. Full stop. That's my man. That's the single dude keeping me from being fully a lesbian. I think it's like a cornerstone of all writing, I think. Like, the minute that you read it, you suddenly start to see all of the references. It's the JoJo's of classic literature.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
There's albums like that.
Yeah.
Where you listen to an album and you're like, oh my god, everything I love is so derivative.
Yeah. I'm really biased because I really love Hector. He's my boy. I love his wife, Andromache. That's like she has such little screen time, but like she's like the random woman that has so much agency in that point. Like in one of the translations, and it's the one that I feel the deepest in my soul. He's like the Prince of Troy. Like he is the number one. Like he's the shit. He's the crown prince. He's the oldest of 50 sons and daughters because Priam was hooking up with everybody.
He's got like a line of people at the door ready to murder him, but he's in charge.
Yeah. But also
Stressful.
like lineup of like women that just like want him, and he sees this girl beating the shit out of her little brother, and he's like, I want her. That's
yeah.
my girl.
Oh.
And he spends 4 years begging her father to be like, can I marry your daughter? And he's like, she's cringe though, sir. My liege,
Sir,
please.
my liege, don't you want, like, I don't know, I assume one of my other daughters?
Only daughter.
Only daughter?
Yeah,
Oh.
one daughter, 7 brothers.
Oh.
And her they never say specifically if Podes is older or younger, but Podes is like, Hector goes to her and he's like, who's that chick? Like, she's great. And he's like, ew, that's my sister, bro. It's gross. And it's like, there's one part where he's like going into war and he's just like telling his horses about how much he's happy to be her husband. And he's so sweet. And their whole thing is very, very sad. Like there's a point where he's saying goodbye to their baby right before they go off to war, and he's got the helmet on, and the baby starts screaming because he's so scared, and it's like a beautiful allegory for like how war like does all this. I have goosebumps. Of just like how it's just so inherently evil because Hector is so kind, but with the helmet on, he's terrifying enough to like scare his own son. I love it. It's so good. Song of Achilles was a piece of shit book. We didn't read the same copy of the Iliad. Why did they make Patroclus a big old whiny bottom? Anyway.
I am extremely in awe of your knowledge of Greek mythology. And the way that you make it sound like something that... So I've read this kind of stuff, and it just like bounces off my noggin in a way that I do not absorb these beautiful character moments. But I was much younger when I read it, so... Yeah. And I was a fairly smooth-brained young person, because all of my formative stuff was literal comic strips. I was like, so many words.
Yeah. Well, I like only fairly recently just started to read it because I was the same way. I was only ever reading like fantasy, like Holly Black books as a teenager, which, God, trying to go back to read those was not fun. That's the problem with working at the bookstore that I volunteer at is I keep seeing all the young adult books that I read as a teenager and pulling them off the shelves and reading a couple pages being like,
no, that's like watching old cartoons and being like, I remember this being good. Oh no.
Yeah.
Or comedies from the late 90s.
Oh no. That's always like a real rough time.
Yeah.
The worst is like oh, this was a YouTube video that I really liked from like 15 years ago. And then it's like, oh, that aged like milk.
You ever go watch something that you never saw as a kid, but you remember everyone else being really hyped about it, and you're like,
Oh, yeah.
I think I'll watch that. Why not? And then you're just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I did that with Pet Detective.
Oh, Pet Detective. Oh, God. I just rewatched The Couch. It was horrible. Did anybody pick up on what they did with the overnight rewatches? Has anybody figured out the theme of last night's rewatch?
It was Matt's idea.
It was a very good idea, though.
Yo, Houseboy, thanks for the resub. Yeah, PPR is tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m.
Good videos. No magic.
Everyone gets to burrow
All
into
James. There you go.
blooming kind of.
Yeah, we get
furry.
to be cute animals. Yeah, so apparently the plan was every video had to involve me in some way or another.
Yeah, and some of them were
We're just like, I was there for like half a second.
Yeah.
And some, obviously, I was in a lot.
My
Yeah.
favorite was the room tone video, and then at the very end, it's like, oh, you can also get like green screen people to put in, and it's you.
It's,
and I'm
oh, yeah, I remember that, yeah.
That's so funny.
yeah.
Good job, Matt. I recall that you said, you're like, Matt and I had a chat, and there is some great ideas there, but. And I was like, and then they were described, and I was like, these are all wonderful ideas, and some of them are enormous.
Yeah. Well, there is a lot of stuff that took a lot of. James was a voiceover in Wizard Chat. Yeah. Like, I had to get real sneaky. I was very tired. I had been streaming a lot, putting all of them together, so some of them had to be a little bit of, like, sneaky. Yeah, like Matt, like the ideas were all really, really good, but some of them were really time consuming. And we were both on camera a lot, so the editing department didn't have a lot of editing this week.
No, I think that you two just absolutely destroyed it and knocked it out of the park. And once again, I will say, I'm going to take my time to say something that doesn't, I think, get talked about enough, is that editing is the absolute busing backbone of what we do.
You can swear.
I can swear?
Yeah.
Sorry, I feel like
He's
there's very
swearing.
desert bus vibes happening.
The only stuff that I think we tried not to swear was yesterday during Magic.
I appreciate you're trying not to though.
Yeah.
I think it's good that we have those
Did
restrictions.
you not swear last night for 3 hours?
I did. Well, here's the thing. I have restraint at 6:38 in
It's
the morning.
6:30 in the
That's
morning.
fair, yeah.
It's
I
not
just
time
woke
for
up.
swearing.
It's not
yet.
time for swearing?
Swearing is a thing you do at the end of the day. You need to let it all out. It's part of
alright.
frustration and venting.
That's fair, that's fair.
It's not a morning thing.
Really? You don't just like, as soon as you wake up, you go into the bathroom, you look yourself in the mirror and just go, fuck!
No, you just sleeping usually.
It's more of just a weary. Shit. Yeah.
I usually wake up with our youngest cat, Tish, like sitting on my collarbone, looking directly at me in like the ugliest angle. Like, it's so funny. And
I might swear then.
yeah, I'm just being like, fuck off. It's so sad because she gets, like, she's so excited that I'm awake, and then she uses her sharp little razors that she has on her feet to just massage my collarbone.
Jesus.
And I'm like, I know you think you're doing something good, but I'm gonna die.
She's happy to see you.
Yeah.
She wants to cuddle you. That's her way of saying that she loves you with all of her needles.
Well, it's because our other two cats were declawed when we got them, so I haven't had a cat that has claws that lives in the house. So I'm like, oh, this is very different. The creature, she is so sharp.
Work faster, coffee.
What are you expecting coffee to do?
I don't know, wake me up.
Why is that coffee's job?
I don't know. Who's else? Like, is it my job?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah,
I do enough things.
It's called self-care, James. There's a whole section of it people don't actually like or promote.
In the 80s, that was cocaine's job.
Do we have any cocaine?
No.
Damn it.
I'm pretty sure that's illegal still. We might have some like Advil.
Oh yeah, no,
Crush it up.
I've got Costco Robax with Tylenol in my office.
Oh, hell yeah.
I've got to leave and some Lactaid.
Ooh.
Let's just mix all these together, see what happens.
We're gonna have a middle-aged party here.
Why is James passed out? Don't worry about it.
Too many Robax and not enough sleep. Oh, did he get high? No, he's just tired.
He's like not in pain anymore, so he can finally sleep through the night.
Yeah.
When I was playing D&D in person with my group, more than half of us were lactose intolerant. So, but we would still get pizza every single time. So we were in Daniel's mom's basement playing the game, and she was coming down to like give us like a nice little side salad to eat with our pizza. And she sees all of us handing each other pills, and her son does not have any sort of lactose issues. So she was like, Daniel, your friend's doing drugs in the basement. And Daniel had to just very quietly drop his head and go, no, they were all just taking Lactaid to not blow up the toilet.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if I was Daniel's mom, I'd entirely believe that.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, absolutely not.
yeah.
You're
Well,
supposed to be suspicious.
Yeah.
so she did corroborate with the fact that, like, one time she brought down some brownies and she offered me one, and I was like, whoa, lady, you're giving us drugs. No. I can't really eat a lot of chocolate before I start, like, getting really sick because of how much dairy is in it. And I told her so, and I saw, like, the light bulb go off. Because, I mean, if we were doing drugs, I would not have turned down that brownie.
Yeah. That's a clever trap of hers.
Yeah.
That's four-dimensional chess she was playing.
Right? Oh, I miss her. I'm so sad he moved out of his parents' house because I want to hang out with his mom.
You know, I bet you could shoot her a text and she probably wouldn't be. She'd probably be like,
Yeah, please come over.
Yeah. Yeah, to be fair, I was in marketing school when we were doing that, and she like cornered me and was like, my daughter has a small business and I was wondering if you could help me a little bit with the marketing. And I was like, okay, Daniel's sister is like 15. What is her business? And she's like, she makes slime online. And it was so sweet. Like, her heart was in the right place, but I was like, girlie, dime a dozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
did she want to make slime with her feet? That could be quite lucrative.
Yeah, it could.
But 15?
Yeah.
Right. She did, but she's an adult now.
Yeah.
So you could
Yeah,
offer
that's
this
true.
advice
Now.
as the way to get
Yeah.
back into the
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
You could finally get that brownie, Jordan. You could be warned.
Well, I remember the first. I earned so many points. The first day that we started playing in Daniel's basement, I brought his mom flowers, and I saw her just be like, "This one's my favorite."
Gotta buy your way in.
Yeah.
RR, thanks for the 1,000 biddies.
Have you ever gone to like a craft fair that's geared towards like the 12 to 15 age bracket?
No.
And you just like walk through and you're like, I remember doing that, I remember doing that, I remember doing that, and there's like basically 5 booths in a row with the same craft happening, and they're all like, yeah, I'm gonna make a business, and like, I remember being motivated at that age.
It's all like perler beads and yeah.
I used to make activity books. We had like all this
Ooh.
like so in very old times, chat, even before I was born, everyone typed things on typewriters, and so a lot of people had letterhead on like their logo and stuff to type on the thing. And we had a bunch of paper that was like that in our house because we had like this old company paper that they were gonna just get rid of, that I got to do anything with because they couldn't use it.
It's a free paper.
And I would make activity books with it, by which I mean I'd set up like tic-tac-toe games and try to do crosswords and shit and be like, ha, I've made the thing that you can buy at the store.
Aww.
People buy this shit, so I could probably make it and sell it.
That's so cute.
I genuinely would buy that off of you.
I got a typewriter from a garage sale when I was like 8 for $2. I was very proud of it. My parents were less so because it was very heavy.
God, I want a typewriter so bad.
They're so cool.
They're so cool. Everything would be like typewritten, like
I know a guy who has a lot. You want to go to Nanaimo and break into his house?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Johnny, we're coming for you.
You're not supposed to tell people.
Damn it, you're right. Shoot.
You leave a card after you've done the theft.
Yeah.
Or you send at least a fancy card before you do the theft. You don't just go onto a stream and be like, I'm going to come for you.
I think you can get Lord Hosk said they're so cheap. I think you can get a fairly inexpensive, decent typewriter.
It's the issue is one that has a working ribbon.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then finding someone who can replace ribbons if it doesn't have
I really
one.
wanted the Lego one to actually work. Because that would have been so
Oh,
cool.
that would
I
be
would have
amazing.
absolutely bought that.
Yeah.
So
There's a off-brand Lego version that's smaller and cuter. It also doesn't work, but it's also a fraction of the
cuter,
price.
though.
Yeah. But yeah, I cut you off.
So we have a typewriter at my house. It is on the shelves behind our streaming setup.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's like bright yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Apparently, it's so heavy. And Graham, because when we bought it, we lived close to downtown. He literally carried it home from downtown. But that was at the time a portable model.
Yep.
And apparently, the guy told us that it was owned by apparently a young woman who would lug that thing around and type on it. And then I was really excited because it came with a working ribbon and everything. And I tried it, and it was misery. You had to just.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know. Maybe I would think it maybe wasn't in quite the lovely lubed up condition it had been when she was using it all the time. But it was wham, wham, wham.
That's where double space comes from the typewriter.
Because you had to.
Yeah, in order to get enough space between the period and the next line, yeah.
It was.
When we were in Chicago for MagicCon, Serge and I were there a little early than everybody else, and we went out for dinner. And we came out of the restaurant, and there was a guy who had set up shop while we were eating. He was just sitting there with a little desk and a stool and a typewriter and a sign that says "Poems by Donation." And you would give him a prompt, and he would write a poem with the typewriter, and then you just gave him, $5-10. And so I gave him a prompt of Magic the Gathering. He went a little heavy with the stereotypes, but it was very cool. I was like, this is an excellent little side hustle you have going on here.
God, I would have blown all of my savings.
You would have walked away with your own personalized book.
Yeah.
Well, I have a label maker that it's the one where it's the black tape with you push the white through and it looks like it's a reverse typewriter. I am such a sucker for the aesthetics.
How much do you like stationery? Have you been to jetpens.com?
No.
Oh, they have a whole YouTube channel where they show off their stationery and fun little Japanese gizmos. It's the most relaxing part of YouTube for me.
There's a really cute stationery store downtown. You should go check it out. It's called The Papery.
Papery is really good.
It's really nice. It's a really cool store. It's where I buy my Christmas wrapping paper from.
Ah.
But they also have gorgeous pens and cool notebooks and stuff like that. It's a really cool store.
You can spend so much
You
money
can
in
spend
there.
so much money in
You're
there.
ooh, it's like I'll take these 6 tiny beautiful things.
Yeah.
And they're $85.
Yeah.
I'm supporting local. I'm supporting local.
Yeah.
And they bought it off one Norwegian guy who makes a notebook a day and looks forlornly out into the sea the rest of the time, I'm sure.
God, that's how I want to be. That's the dream.
Yeah, live in a lighthouse
Yeah.
with your typewriter.
Yeah.
No, with my lovely non-clackety keyboard, thank you very much. Okay, as somebody
Okay, for Kathleen, not a typewriter.
somebody who's been doing a lot of writing recently, I cannot fathom how some people can sit there hearing clickety 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 click the whole
I
time.
can't stand that on the Model M keyboards, and some people around here, Beej and Ian at least, are very into them, and I don't know, cherry keys or whatever things. I don't know the keyboard terms. I just hear them a lot, and I'm just but they're so loud, and also there's so much more extra travel time because the buttons are so much deeper.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know I just said typing on a typewriter would be really cool, and I know that's much harder and stuff, but give me a thin keyboard I can go so fast.
My keyboard is it's made to look like a typewriter, and it's a pain
You have one of those?
Yeah, it's a pain to type on. It's very loud, but oh boy, does it look pretty on my desk.
Does it have those round keys?
Yeah.
Oh, those
But
are the worst.
It's still RGB.
Oh God.
It's only like a white light though, so.
Graham used to have a typewriter like that.
Yeah.
Like he bought
The
it.
keyboard?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
I
it's still
remember
in
that.
our closet.
Yeah.
And I was like, because I had to use it for like editing stuff, and I was like, please, God,
Terrible.
I will break this in half over my knee.
Yeah, I will say, because I know there are like people in chat who are like, oh, but the tactile feel and all that. It's different when you're the one doing it versus sitting in a room or 10 feet away from somebody else who, by the way, Beach does not type lightly. So I think he adds noise.
Amada, thank you so much for updating that Sub-A-Thon command. Just a really quick reminder, we've reached our goal. We capped basically right at about 6 a.m. this morning. So if you have just come in the last 45 minutes or so, yeah, we are capped. But we do have some stretch goals. You can see in the top right corner there in the sub notifier that we have a little pizza icon with the number 137 next to it. That number is counting down. So every sub will take it down by 1. Every 400 bits will take it down by 1. It's the same math as the regular Sub-A-Thon, so tier 2s will take 2 off of it, tier 3s will take 5 off of it. Once we hit 0, that will lock in Pizza Party during the finale. Then it will turn into, I assume, a dilly bar and count down from 250 again. And then once we hit 0, we'll get ice cream. And then finally, we'll get to the water balloon stretch goal, a final 250 subs or bits, and everybody gets to throw water balloons at me outside of one of the office windows down to, because we're on a second story, down at the parking lot. It will be fun. So you should do that if you can. It's about, so I think the stretch goals are about the equivalent of like 6-ish more hours, basically. So
I have a Bluetooth keyboard. It's about this big because I imported a copy of Pokemon Typing for the DS.
oh hell yeah.
So I use that
Nice.
That's hardcore,
for
Heather.
like iPads and stuff because you can get it to connect.
What is the most expensive thing that you ever imported because you desired it but could not get it?
Most expensive? I don't have that many things that are imported.
I am at the moment looking for a new film camera, and the only place that it seems to be that I can get them is like from Japan.
I did pay quite a bit for, someone helped me get, when Hyrule Warriors 3DS came out in everywhere but here, I think the UK or something, you could get the special edition that came with the compass that Linkle had, and I wanted that so badly that somebody else in the fan base was buying the game, and so they got the special edition, and I paid them the rest, and
Nice.
got the thing shipped.
Oh.
I think Ian probably wins the most amount spent on an import, right? Because didn't he get the car?
Yes, yes. I guess his car is imported from
Yeah.
Japan.
It's less of an import because I got it from the States, but
Right? That's an import.
Yeah.
You couldn't get it in Canada.
yeah. And it's not expensive, but it's like very emotionally grand. When I officially like became full time here, I bought a cell from the last unicorn.
Oh.
Yeah, and I saw it on eBay, and I was like, I need this right now. And so that's my baby. It's sitting under my bed, very, very much careful, with also my original, I have like drawing frames from the JoJo's Part 3 movie.
Oh.
Yeah. So Prince Lear and Polnareff are chilling out under my bed.
That's amazing.
I mean, we did buy a lot of things when I went to Japan like a million years ago. If I added my flight costs,
You imported yourself briefly.
Yeah.
But then you had to export out, because you had places to be. When I was in university, I paid something like 65 Canadian dollars for a CD,
Yeah.
which was a fortune at the time, both for because this would be like 2005, right? $65 for that's expensive now.
Oh yeah.
And because it had to come in from the UK. It was, I think, well, maybe it wasn't 65. It might have been more like 60. But the point being, it was an eye-popping number, and it was an album called Double Figure by a band called Plaid.
Oh, yeah.
And it was still a very good album, and I'd recommend it. And it was long too, so I got my money's worth. And there's a bunch of songs that I'd never heard before because they were very short and they'd never been uploaded to streaming services or to pirating services.
Yeah, the part 3 OVA isn't Lost Media, it's the part 1.
Oh.
Yeah. I would, if I had a time machine, I would go back and save the part 1 OVA. I love Phantom Blood. But yeah, that's 65 for a CD is,
That's a lot of money.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm very cheap, so just think of it that way.
Yeah.
CDs are nice and cheap now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's worth 50 cents now.
They're like the one physical media of music that is probably the cheapest.
Well,
Yeah.
because vinyl's like kinda
Vinyl
blown
is
up.
ridiculous. 8-track is probably of CD, vinyl, and like cassette. I think CD is probably the cheapest right now because even cassettes are kind of
Yeah,
taking
I
off
just
a
assumed
little bit.
vinyl's like the really hot one right now.
Yeah, vinyl's the big one. For
But
sure.
it's also really expensive to manufacture.
Yeah.
And I will point out, as a person who loves music, annoying to listen to sometimes.
Oh, it
I
is
don't-
absolutely
I'm
annoying
like-
to listen to.
I get it's an experience, but I don't know. For my experience, the best way to listen to music is with headphones on a walk.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the Hatsune Miku music I listen to will not sound any better on vinyl.
It might. There could be a richness of the tone.
Yeah. I know, I forget which of the pop girlies that I listen to, but they recently released like a heart-shaped pink vinyl.
Aw.
And I'm like, that is so cute. That probably is a nightmare to play.
I will say that is probably the coolest thing I've seen about vinyl. Is it's like this really big piece of art you get.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I love
yeah,
collecting them. They're a lot of fun.
I think if like a different lifetime, I would have probably gotten into it for that reason because I used to when I was like about 16 or 17 because I wasn't allowed to buy anything outside of the Christian bookstore for a long time during that period. I would go to this music store in the mall and I would buy music based on the album art.
Oh, nice.
And sometimes that wouldn't work out in my favor, but you know, that's how I buy music.
Wow.
And then I'd hide it and listen to it somewhere else.
Hell yeah.
So what was the first music that you bought for yourself then?
What's the name of the band? Why can't I remember? I blame early morning.
I was gonna say because it's 6:58 a.m.
I wish I still had all my Columbia Music CDs.
Did you have Columbia Music CDs?
Oh yeah, I
Oh.
definitely did Columbia Music, the 12 CDs for a penny bullshit. Oh yeah, definitely did that.
Do we have them on here?
Thank you, friends, for all the gifted subs. We're down below, what is that, 85?
Yeah, we saw there was
Hell yeah.
25 subs.
Oh,
a
holy
gifted
hell.
sub
Oh
that
my
went by.
Thank you.
Ooh, so got some good suggestions in chat. Let Go by Avril Lavigne.
oh
The
yeah.
Matrix.
Oh yeah, that was
soundtrack?
fun.
I definitely owned the Matrix soundtrack.
Oh, the
Yeah,
first
Papa
CD.
Roach.
Papa Roach?
Yeah.
Oh my god, hell yes.
The first CD I bought with my own money was the Lion King soundtrack, says Rock Pusher.
Ooh,
I remember that.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Matchbox 20, definitely own Matchbox 20. The Tea Party.
Ooh, I have a childhood story about this. So, when I was in the 7th grade, we had a school trip going to Montreal, I think. No, it was to Ottawa. So, I had like a certain amount of money that my mother had given me for like food and all of that, and it was the last day, and I had a lot of money because I was being very cheap in case there was something that I really wanted. And so I was like, well, I need to spend the money. So I went into HMV, and I was like, okay, I need to buy a CD. This is going to be very important. This is the first CD that I've ever bought because I just hadn't at that point.
It's important.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Yeah. I beelined it directly to a Best of Joy Division album.
Hell yeah. That's dope.
And then I just like, I remember the French cashier was like, Joy Division? And I was like, yeah, I had never heard them, but I was like, I knew from, this is so cringe, there was like a meme song called I Must Be Emo. Back in the day, and one of the things was about having a Joy Division toothbrush, and I was like, emo kids like Joy Division.
Oh
I have to
God.
listen to Joy Division.
That's fantastic.
That's very valid.
Yeah.
That's very valid. So my first CD, I remember this. I don't know how I got away with this, but I don't know. We were in some dinky mall in New Westminster, and I was like, Dad, I would like to listen. Could I? It was like one of those stores that sold like used CDs, and I was like, I would like a CD, and my dad was like, nah, fuck it. My dad's always been very pro music, and like, my dad was raised Catholic, so I was raised not religious at all. So
That's almost every Catholic person I know. It's like, were your parents Catholic? Nah.
yeah, absolutely not. My dad got out of that early, basically as soon as possible, and so he was like parental advisory. Weird, whatever, but I don't care. And so but you know, as a child, you're just operating on vibes.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, I'm 12 years old, and the CD I pick up is Metallica's Black Album.
Oh, hell, that's yes.
I was like, wow, this one's all black.
Yeah, my mom read like a lot of books, so books were generally open, like, because it's like, oh, that's fine. Music was a little less, because they didn't want me listening to, well, things with swears in it mostly, but, you know, it was like, stick to the Christian bookstore, because we know that that's safe. But video games they didn't understand at all, so it was like, I could get away with a lot more with video games.
Huh.
That's where you got the freedom.
I don't understand why my mom let me rent a game with the name Carnage in it. It was a Spider-Man game. But it literally had the name Carnage in it. I'm like, she knows what this word means.
Yeah.
I don't understand why she would have let me rent this.
Maybe she looked at it and was like, oh, Carnage is the name of the character.
Yeah.
Old Spider-Man games are so funny because you just walk on the street and they're like side brawlers
Yeah.
more than anything else. Maximum Carnage, that was a good game. It was on the Sega.
See, you were a child with hand-eye coordination, clearly.
Sega Genesis.
Flapjacks, by the way. Thank you for the 6,800 bits.
Yeah,
I saw that.
thank you.
That's so many bits. Thank you.
I'm feeling confident on pizza.
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty confident on pizza.
Yeah.
That's the one that I really care about. Pizza
Yeah.
is lunch.
I'm feeling
I'm glad
very,
we put that one first.
Yeah.
I'm feeling very like you gave me the exact coffee I asked for, and it is very sweet.
All right.
But that's kind of like, I don't know. That's how I can handle it.
I did play some video games that were weird, because like I said, I played the Bible adventure games. But I also played a Barbie game, which was just kind of a rip-off of Super Mario, but like you're this tall, and you're like jumping over like little hot dogs at the mall and shit, and it's kind of just funny now to think about the fact that that happened.
You missed Jordynne activating behind you again.
I love Barbie games.
Hell
I
yeah.
love Barbie. Barbie Race and Ride, that was my shit. You used to be able to wash the horse, and I used to just put like ravioli, like wet spots, because it would have like a wiggly edge, and I was like, haha, it looks like I drew a ravioli on this horse. Because my house was like exclusively a PlayStation house. I was not allowed to have Nintendo because my dad liked Nintendo, and my mom was like, anything that Brad likes is out of here.
Wow.
Not Horse Adventure, Race and Ride. Very different. But so one of my favorite memories as a child is that my stepdad and I, aka just my stepdad, got my mom a PS2 for Christmas. And we got her Final Fantasy X, and I just remember her opening it up and her just like crying.
Aww.
It was so cute. It's like one of my favorite childhood memories because she was so happy, and I was like, I did that.
That's so sweet. Did your mom really like Final Fantasy X?
Yeah, I like, my mom's really into gaming. Like she's like a completionist specifically.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she has never played an Assassin's Creed game that she has not platinumed.
Wow.
Do we need to get her some magic cards?
Oh.
Well, my mom also collected the Lord of the Rings TCG back in the day.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah, she's super cool. When I was first getting into Magic, she was like, "You're repeating the cycle." It's like me in college with the Lord of the Rings cards. My mom's cool as shit though. Like when her and my dad got married, my uncle gave her a copy of The Crow, like a first edition printing as their like wedding gift. She's the best. She's so cool.
Isn't there a new Crow movie coming out?
Yeah. Oh god.
It's got FKA Twigs in it, I believe.
Is it just? It's just gonna just be bad, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Probably.
It's got the guy who plays Pennywise, one of the.
Oh.
Alexander Skarsgård,
Yeah.
or whatever his name is. Bill
Not
Skarsgård?
Alex. Bill Skarsgård.
Bill,
yeah.
Yeah, they're related.
Yeah.
Ooh, trivia brain turned on.
Yeah. And it looks bad. It's like Joker levels of, or like Jared Leto Joker specifically
Okay.
levels of. It's so edgy.
It's not. I am cringe and I am free.
Yeah.
It's just cringe.
No, they're like it's like the pizza cutter type of movies where it's all edge but no point.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. It's it hurts as someone who like
Wait,
loves that movie.
Your mom completionist Final Fantasy X?
No, Assassin's Creed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I completionist Final Fantasy X. My like first gaming memory was my mom playing Kingdom Hearts 1, and she could not beat the Colosseum. And then her being like, "Fuck this! I'm gonna go to the bathroom." And then I like picked it up and I was like, "I'm gonna try," and then I beat it.
That fight with what's his one-winged angel face?
Sephiroth?
Yeah, is
Yeah.
scary as heck.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still haven't done that. I don't think I'm going to.
That's
Is
fair.
10? I don't Final Fantasy. Is 10 the bad? Is
So-
9 the bad one that
No.
people don't like?
No.
No,
I thought it was
10's good.
8.
13 is the one that you're thinking of.
Okay.
That's the bad one people don't like.
Which is a bad Final Fantasy.
Now I've activated
Yeah.
because I care a lot about stories.
The story eats. But
Yeah, 7 has a good story and is fine. The remake is wild, and I have a lot of opinions about it. 8, the story is not that bad.
I love
honestly.
8, yeah.
I think that just the characters are more subtle and the themes are more subtle, and also it was very. You're never gonna. I think if you had not played 7, you would like 8 more. But
Yeah.
everybody played 7 first because of how time works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, it was a love story, and I feel like a lot of people, the minute that it becomes a love story, they go like, "I'm out."
Yeah.
Yeah.
People-
Oh, it's the one with that dancing scene that shows up in every
Yeah.
AMV
I'm
I've
not
seen.
saying
Yeah,
it's
okay.
not cringe at parts.
You're the most handsome man at the ball, and his 2 pixels.
Right, because Knight's the one with the lion boy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Tryon says they all grew up in the same orphanage and forgot about it. The villain was their teacher. It is bad. Yes, it is bad. The story is stupid. But you have to remember, like, 7 set this way high bar for a story that was good and kind of made sense when you kind of think about old JRPGs some of the times. Like, we used to accept garbage, just crap, because I went back and played a lot of them when I was in university, and I was like, most of these are very bad. But 9 was good, but 10's amazing.
10 is so
Story-wise,
good.
they it's like the graphics suddenly get like way more playable and fun. And just the actual like characters development growth, like it's like somebody took a writing class
Yeah.
between like, and like I'm not saying I don't like 8 and 9 and 7 and stuff like that, but just like
But-
how
Yeah.
they
It's the, to bring it back to like JoJo's, it's the difference between when they finished part 3 and then Araki went, "Oh, this is getting really popular. I should learn how to write and draw." And then screws off for like a year, goes to Italy to learn, and then comes back and drops part 4 and is like, "Sup." That was the Final Fantasy X experience too.
Yeah, 10's really 10 and 10 too. I never finished, but they're the only ones I've really played.
Yeah.
Because all of Final Fantasy I know is from Theatrhythm.
Yeah, that's fair.
Wait, what about 11?
Oh, 11's an online one.
Yeah.
So we don't.
11 is online?
12 is
Okay.
also really good.
Yeah.
But instead, they're like, all right, I've learned how to tell a good story. Now I'm going to go read, I don't know, like, I don't think Game of Thrones or like one of those kinds of like the Wheel
Game
of
of Thrones
Time.
is
Yeah.
16.
Yeah, okay. Somebody went and read the Wheel of Time or something like that with like sort of like factions moving against one another and went, yes, we could do that in Final Fantasy. It was also good.
Yeah.
And then it
Yeah.
went way downhill after
13
that.
is the one that happens in 3 parts
Is
and
bad.
has lightning,
Yep.
which is the thing they also did with like fashion model magazines and stuff.
Yeah.
No,
And then 14 is the other online
Is it?
one
Yeah.
that's good.
that started bad, got blown up, and became good.
Yes,
And
15
then
was apparently
15 was
good.
the car trip.
Was apparently actually is just
car
bros.
trip.
Boy Band Simulator.
Yeah,
It was
and
very
then
fun.
16 was the Game of Thrones one, as far
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
I understand it.
Yes, 16 was Game of Thrones. But yeah, 13 was like, nobody 10 was good, but nobody liked 12. What if we made Final Fantasy 7 again, but we made the protagonist a lady this time?
Yeah.
So we'll call her Lightning instead of Cloud. It's like,
You know the game's bad when they put Australian lesbians in it, and it's still bad.
yeah. 15 was the one where the boys don't kiss, 0 out of 10.
Yeah.
They also made like 15 for like you could get it on the phone,
Oh yeah, the
but
pocket
like
version.
they made like this chibi whatever
Yeah.
version, and I tried to play it. My phone at the time was older, so it didn't really run it very well. But I got like the start of it going because
Yeah.
you could play like so much for a demo, and I couldn't stand it because they had all these talking lines where they kept showing people, but they had no mouth movements for these characters, and I'm like, you've made a game where people just kind of get a camera set on them while they talk and they don't do anything.
Yeah.
I can't deal.
Yeah,
But I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, I can't really talk. I like Drakengard, so like my taste in games is like garbage. I'm like, this
If
game that
you
has
have fun with it, it's
Yeah.
not garbage.
this game that has 4 frames a second, so good.
The best JRPG is Xenogears. Changed my mind.
I've not played it.
Oh, it's really good.
Yeah.
It's like never been remade, and the people who made it then went on to make a bunch of games that were fucking terrible. So this was just like a real like lightning in a bottle weird game
No.
of like let's kill God.
Oh yeah, the Drakengard 3 final ending. That's no way bullshit. Yep. Yeah, they just randomly drop a rhythm game as like the final boss.
I'd be so good at that.
It's so good, but they are such assholes because it's got the very mild Drakengard 3 spoilers. It's fine. I feel like you can't spoil games by him. Like they're just unhinged. Yeah, it's the one that leads to Nier. It like ties them together because Drakengard is Nier prequels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
wild. I can't believe that's all one universe.
Yeah, especially with everything going on. But it's the thing where it starts as the ring and then it'll like expand out from a point. Like
Okay.
that type of rhythm game. But near the very end, it starts to just fade to black and you just have to like guess. And it will stop like they get you with like 3 or 4 that just come out of nowhere, intentionally making you lose. And it's like a 5-minute song.
Oh, that's long.
Yeah, it hurts so bad. So good though.
You have to finish Chain of Memories, but
Yes.
I think I'm just gonna skip playing the rest of that. Maybe I'll just go play the remake of it instead of the original.
Yeah,
can't-
I loved Chain of Memories, but the combat, like the story of Chain of Memories is so good.
I like the story.
Yeah.
I think it's really funny.
Yeah.
But the especially since it's just like, oh, this illusion of whatever, and like it's a memory palace.
Yeah.
And you've just made okay, fine.
Yeah.
But I do like it as a sense of like we're gonna do the story again, kind of, but not really.
Yeah.
And remind people and
Yeah.
but that gameplay mechanic, I actually think the gameplay mechanic is really interesting. I can't run my hands fast enough on the deck.
Yeah, it's hard. Wait until you get to playing Days. Oh, God. I still think about the Leech Grave every once in a while, and it's the worst fight of my life. Yeah. I like just in Chain of Memories, or I guess it's in Reverse Rebirth, technically. There's like one scene that is just like completely tonally different than the rest of the game. There's like, it's like, oh, like look at all these Disney characters that are being silly goofy. And then a girl just backhands a girl so hard that she hits the wall, hits the ground, hits the wall again.
Okay.
and just so violent out of nowhere. And I was just like, are we in the same game? Like, how did this pass? How did Disney approve this?
Oh, The World Ends With You on the DS. Oh, amazing mechanically. My hand felt like it was clawed for a week. Because you have to like, it's one of the few DS games I've seen that uses both screens really well.
Ooh.
You have to like do, I think it's buttons with one hand to do certain combinations, but you're also controlling a second character and you're using the stylus to do things, and so you kind of just have this. I don't know, there's something about it that's really mechanically satisfying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played that game. Like, I went back and played it like way after it came out, and I was like, oh, this is actually really good.
Yeah. They have it on the Switch. They re-released it on the Switch.
I have it on this. I never played it.
Which I don't know how well that works. I've seen some people say it's not as good, but like for what they're doing for a console that doesn't have two screens, it's not bad.
Speaking of consoles that had two screens and then the game got released, who remembers the Wii U? And there was one good game that like came out and like really used the Wii U's sort of like, you know, you have like a little iPad with shit on it and also a TV screen thing.
Yeah.
Zombie U?
Well, maybe also that one. Two good games then. The Mega 10 Fire Emblem crossover.
Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE, because it had a musical component.
Yeah, it had a musical component with like idols and stuff like that.
Have you played Tokyo Mirage Sessions?
No, but you pitched it to me last time I was here.
It is really like legitimately good and goes like, first you're like, this is awful, I hate these people. There is one social link I just refused to advance because I didn't want to deal with the character. But the actual gameplay and like dungeon crawling and like fighting is really excellent.
And if you like anime tropes, it's heavy on that.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just, so you gotta go like upgrade your weapons and stuff, and it's just like, because every character basically has a stand that's a Fire Emblem character, and when you go to like upgrade certain things, the guys, when they upgrade their stuff, they basically like fist bump each other in the sky after flying around, and it's the funniest thing. I watch it every single time.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Did any of you play Shadow Hearts for the PS2?
No.
There's got to be someone in the chat. I've never, aside from my mother, because we owned the same copy of the game. Yes. I'm
gonna look it up.
Loved that game. We got it on one of those like Blockbuster's going out of business, so we're selling the games for dirt cheap.
Oh, nice.
And when I was working at our vintage game store, I saw a copy come in, and it was worth a decent amount of money, and I was like, oh, based. Like, it's so cheesy anime. I loved it.
It's like some sort of Resident Evil thing.
Yeah.
At least based on the artwork, I'm not.
Yeah, it was definitely like, you can copy my homework, just don't change stuff, but make it more anime.
So it's more anime Resident Evil?
Yeah. And like, people are gonna get mad about me saying that, but also,
I think people in chat were saying that Ben was talking about it on Let's Know.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Brownie Point said that.
You fight like zombies, but it's like turn-based combat. It's like if Resident Evil and Final Fantasy had a baby, which is why I was like,
No, this actually looks pretty interesting.
I could handle that.
it eats.
It's a rhythm game too, just
Yeah.
for the combat.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Heather!
Yeah. I might.
Could the first Rhythm Cafe Let's Nope, the Let's
Ooh,
Nope
crap.
Cafe, Rhythm Nope.
Let's rhythm.
Let's rhythm. I like rhythm nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's how I feel about rhythm games once you get to a certain difficulty level.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine any difficulty level in a rhythm game. I'm very impressed. How do I work here? I'm so bad at playing games.
We don't focus on whether or not we're good at the games.
That's true.
What's the weather
I'm
forecast
charming.
today? Good.
Pizza.
Yeah, we're
It's looking nice.
54 subs away from pizza.
Is that 50 or 60? I can't tell.
64.
I think that's 64.
64.
Yeah.
Well, close enough.
The Nintendo 64 was the first console I bought on my own. I was so proud of that.
You
Wow.
bought your own N64?
Yes, I did.
That was
I remember I got mine for my birthday.
I got like an original Nintendo in the house because somebody else, one of the neighbors' kids was getting one. They hid it in our basement, and I thought we were getting it, so my parents relented there. And they got me a Sega Genesis, but after that, they were like, nah, we're not gonna, like... My parents were really into Dr. Mario, and I don't think they saw anything interesting on the Nintendo 64 or whatever, so I was just like, I will save all my money and I will buy the system.
How long did it take you to save up that much money?
I just had to save like my birthday money and Christmas money because my birthday's in October, so it's like only a little bit of a wait.
Do you remember what the first game you got for the N64 was?
It would have been Mario 64.
Okay. Mine was Shadows of the Empire, the Star Wars game.
Okay, yeah.
I remember buying it I remember getting it for my birthday. I don't remember what birthday it was, though. Whatever year it came out, I guess. Ish.
What Columbia CDs did you listen to while you were jamming that?
Oh, man.
You said you got the
12 for a penny. I mean, I got all this would have been like 96, so like, God, I feel like I got Jagged Little Pill for sure. I remember there being a Big Wreck album in there, I think. Tea Party, I believe, was in there.
You didn't have you had perfectly cromulent taste.
Oh yeah, like they were all like, I argue it was pretty hard to have bad, especially of that kind of music in the 90s, like 96. There's so much good music.
There's a lot of good music that came out in the 90s.
Yeah, and like it was all like popular music, you're right. Like this is all the stuff that I was seeing on Much Music at the time. So.
Yeah, you have to remember.
That was our source for music at the time.
Yeah, exactly.
And like Rolling Stone and Spin magazines, which cost a fortune, but you could flip through for free at the grocery store.
Yeah.
Yo, 321 Pants Off. Thanks for the 10 gifted subs.
Yeah, I bought a bundle so I could get like a game for a little cheaper at the same time.
Yeah.
So I think that was just like the bundle that was currently happening. I don't even really care for Mario 64.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't care for Mario.
It's fine, but it's not. I don't think it's that good.
That's fair.
When I was a kid, in my dentist's office, I had a PS1, and which was that's smart of them. Yeah. And then, so they had like Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, like they had a whole bunch of like full discs too.
Nice, yeah.
It wasn't even like the demo disc situation. And then that was the only place that I played Crash Bandicoot. But then when I went home, Spyro, the original Spyro, was like the first game that I think it's like 107% because it's got like bonus content
it's one of
at
those
the end.
things. Yeah.
That was the first time I'd ever like completed something, and that became my like if I was sick, I would just play and beat Spyro.
Spyro's really good.
Yeah.
I only played it like I think a couple years ago recently.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, this game actually really holds up.
Yeah, and then it doesn't.
Yeah. Okay.
The minute David Spade starts voicing a dragonfly, you're like, I'm out.
Yeah, that's fair. Dragonfly is a little bit.
Yeah.
I got into most of my video gaming in university because there was not money in my house for video game systems as a child. But, God, you know what you can do when you have student loans?
Yep.
Make them bigger.
Import CDs and buy video games.
Yeah, ditch your getting any of those books because you're not going to want to use them.
Yeah.
I bought my books. I got
mine used when I could.
I
and
would
then
buy
I spent
everything.
the extra
You buy
on
everything
stuff.
used, and you live in Prince George, which is very cheap. Even like not nowhere it's cheap now, but this was cheap even by comparison at the time. And you do nothing and you go nowhere because you're a big nerd and you hang out in the university newspaper office and that's free. It also helps that like when I was in high school, I hung out with like this may surprise people, but I hang out with all the stoners and the burnouts and the skids.
Yeah.
But then I realized that those people were gonna do nothing with their lives. And I was slightly smarter than, this is so arrogant, but it's true. This is 18-year-old Kathleen, and I was slightly smarter than them. So I decided I would ditch every single one of my high school friends, even though I went to university in the same town I went to high school with. I just fucking cut off contact with everybody and made new friends with completely new interests.
How are we the same person? I did the exact same thing.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I just got to, well, like, nobody knows who you are at university. They don't give a shit that you're from Prince George.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I was just like, what do I want to do? And I had read Bloom County as a child, so I was like, I'm going to go work in the student newspaper office, and I'm going to draw a cartoon just like Berkeley Breathe, and just like Bill Watterson, and just like Gary Larson, and every other successful cartoonist, because that's what I want to do with my life.
Hell
And this
yeah.
is the first step. And I sort of got sidetracked on it, but I'm close enough.
Yeah.
I feel like I did the opposite because one of my friends from high school is now my boss.
Yeah, but I would point out that you had how did you describe your childhood? Good?
Yeah. What was the word? It started with a G.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I danced around the topic of child abandonment and calling social services.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I think there's a couple of people from high school that if I ran into, we'd probably have coffee, but I don't go out of my way to talk to them. So, no.
I'm literally like, I'm not on Facebook because I don't want to.
Oh, deleting Facebook was so good.
Oh yeah, I have. Well,
Oh,
I'm
right,
technically,
yeah.
I think still on there. I never deleted my account, but I haven't
No, I
logged in
deleted
since
I
mine.
cannot
like
remember.
2011.
Yeah, I can't remember the last
Delete
time I
mine
logged
fully
in.
out.
I have to use mine because my friend CJ is so like technologically inept that this is the only way that he can contact people.
It's honestly sometimes like I do get like Facebook requests, and I'll have to like then text the person, and be like, I'm not on Facebook.
Yeah.
I will. I can just text.
Yeah.
It does, and it really, I know it hampers Penelope's social life that I'm not on Facebook.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
Facebook
how a lot of people like do a lot of their meetups and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. There's parenting groups that I'm not in.
I had
I don't like. I know I'm missing out. I don't even know what I'm missing out on.
Yeah, I had a
I'm
few-
not in the group chat.
Yeah.
a few years ago. I had one of my like aunts was like, "Oh, we're doing like a family reunion," and like I'm gonna go into that, and they're like, "Well, in case you change your mind," and they like copied and pasted all the information from what a Facebook thing they had made. Which didn't include the actual dates. It just said Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I'm like, I'm not okay. Well, I feel like I should ask for when the actual dates are, but that implies I'd go.
Yeah.
I mean, because I still have Facebook Messenger, just because my family uses it. But
Oh, okay.
like, it kind of blows my mind that Facebook doesn't force you to have Facebook on your phone to get into the Messenger.
Yeah, that doesn't
Because
sound like them.
Yeah, because like I have Facebook Messenger on my phone, which I open up like once every couple weeks to check in and see if anybody in my family has died. But it's wild that they don't make you have normal Facebook.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice.
Well, I wonder if it's because they're trying, because like I know for a while they integrated it so you could also see your like Instagram DMs on Messenger.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it was just sort of like an outlier, but
Yeah.
I think it might have had something to do with an antitrust
It might be
lawsuit.
it might be an EU
I
thing.
think it might just.
Thanks,
yeah.
Europe.
I think it might just be like, actually, no, you're not allowed to lock people into an ecosystem and then have that be the only way that they're allowed to contact their family. You're not allowed to monopolize the means of communication.
hell yeah.
God
What a
bless
good
you.
time we live in. But it's certainly, I would say it's inspirational.
Oh man, so when you were spinning the Cake album, I was gonna tell a story and I forgot to, but now I get to tell it in person. So Cake was like one of the few things that my parents like both were like, okay, she likes it, he likes it, Jordynne can listen to both of it. Because like I wasn't allowed to watch X-Files at my dad's house because my mom liked X-Files. I wasn't allowed to listen to Metallica or play Nintendo at my mom's house because
Does your dad like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
but they both like Caked, so it was one of those things where it was like, oh, this is the one thing my parents can agree on. Okay, let's go. But I was like an older teen, and I was I had either downloaded the CDs or I just had them physically, and I was going through, and I was very used to. My dad lived in Barrie, which is like a 2-hour drive from Hamilton, where I grew up. And so we would usually either listen to Cake, Phantom of the Opera, or Guilt Trips. And so,
Jesus.
yeah. So, like, and we would listen to the CDs from like start to finish. And I had never realized this entire time, my entire childhood, my parents had both very seamlessly skipped Nugget every single time.
Really?
Yeah, because the chorus of it is just shut the fuck up over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So I was like listening to the music and I was like, what is this? What song is this? Because it's in the middle of the album. And I was like, what happened? And I went to my mom and I was like, what is this song? And she's like, oh yeah, well, like I just skip it. Oh, did your dad also skip it?
That's so funny.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Penelope's on a real anti-swearing tangent.
Ooh.
So she's
Anti.
always like, Mom!
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I mean, there's like, definitely an age group where you get very restrictive about rules and why the rest of the universe isn't following the rules that you're supposed to follow.
Yeah.
I mean, like that definitely seems like the age where kids are, because my niece is like that too, because they know that if they say it, they get in trouble, and so they like don't like it when other people get to say it and not get in trouble, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
She's
honestly
never gotten
quite
in trouble
fair.
at my house, but the rule is obviously don't say that at school.
Yeah.
I was like allowed open swearing from the jump. Like my mom was just like, it hurts some people's feelings, so swear as much as you want at home, but like not in public. Because we had a neighbor who would just scream at his son all the time. So I like learned how to swear and to swear properly quite young. So there was a day that my mom and my ex-stepdad were like watching a movie on the couch, and I come out and I'm in my like dad's Guns N' Roses shirt. So it's like I'm like 4, giant shirt, hair down to my ass, and I'm like, will somebody read me a story? And my mom's like, honey, it's okay, like just go back inside, like go to your room, we're almost done the movie. And I'm like, okay. And so I go back in my room and I like stare at my Little Mermaid poster for a little bit, and then I like come back out and I'm like, okay, it's been a bit, will somebody please read me a story? And she's like, I'm sorry, honey, like the movie is almost done, like I promise, we'll be right back. And I'm like, okay. And I go back in my room and I play with my Barbies, and I'm like, okay, surely it's been long enough now. And I go in the room and I'm like, will somebody read me a fucking story? They had to do the thing where it's like, you want to laugh, but you don't want to
You
encourage.
can't, yeah.
It's like, uh-oh.
I did not grow up in a swearing household, which is interesting. Like, it wasn't like discouraged. My parents just never swore, so I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't really. I don't
Everybody was
remember
all
that
well
coming up.
adjusted.
I still can't really swear around my parents. It just feels weird.
Oh, I couldn't swear in front of Graham's parents. Oh,
Oh,
actually,
I
not
can't.
on
I
purpose.
couldn't swear in front of Graham's parents.
Actually, I could let out a little. I could let out a shit in front of Graham's mom.
I could say shit in front of Graham's mom, but I
Yeah.
couldn't imagine dropping the fuck around. No.
No.
Couldn't.
Around Stuart?
Yeah,
No.
please, no.
That'd be so weird.
Graham's parents are also. Graham is also like well adjusted. God, what a surprise that was to meet someone who is just normal.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God, I had the soap in the mouth too. It was
Whoa.
it was very tonally different because my mom was like, yeah, do whatever, and my dad was like, let's get the hand soap.
Ugh.
Hand soap.
Yeah.
Hey, wait, what?
Yeah.
Take a shot, kid.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It would just be like a.
I've eaten soap by accident once. Like.
Like a chocolate-looking soap, or
No, so basically, I don't know. I was like cleaning up around the house or something like that, and I thought it was like a dribble of honey because I was like baking. I was like making granola or something like that, but it was a dribble of liquid lemon hand soap. And boy,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a
bad.
lasting
Yeah.
sensation.
Yeah. That's how I knew for sure I had the cilantro gene, because I was like, I have had soap.
Oh,
Yeah.
soap can look like cheese.
yeah, like I remember hearing the phrase like it was a thing that got brought up, but it was never a thing that got done.
No,
You know.
Yeah.
no.
He only did it once, and I cried and then threw up, and then I think he was
Oh,
like,
no.
oh, now I have to clean this up. I'm not gonna do that again.
I hope he felt awful.
Yeah, I hope so too. He also used to wash my hair with dog shampoo, so.
I
Zany
think
man.
we all existed around the age when that kind of punishment was fading out.
Yeah.
When our parents were realizing, oh wait, maybe this isn't the best way to scold our children.
Yeah. I mean,
wooden spoons and
I've heard stories
soap in mouths. And, yeah.
about I think my dad getting like the belt,
Oh yeah.
and so I know
Yeah.
he was very anti wanting to do anything like that.
Yeah, my mom was the same. My mom also works for social services, so if anybody knows to not do that, it's her. There you go. How's that for childhood story?
We nailed it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I've got there.
Deleted
it.
the conversation.
We did it. All right, we got an hour and a half left with coffee, and then a reminder, the next thing that's happening this morning is stars in a reasonably priced forklift.
Oh, right.
With Ian down in Studio A. So we're going to throw to that in about a half an hour. And then the finale kicks off at 11. And for anybody who has just joined us in the last little bit, we are capped. So the timer will not go up, but the pizza counter will go down. Mm-hmm. You can see in the top right corner there in the sub notifier, we've got the little pizza countdown now. So once that reaches 0, we will have a pizza party during the finale, and then we will count down for ice cream party, and then we will count down for ice cream.
Party.
Yeah, so I think there's about 542 more subs or equal bits, and that will fully complete all of our goals for this Sub-A-Thon. So you've got about 6.5 hours to make that happen. We're only 39 subs away from 5,000 even.
Jeez.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Wild. And we're honestly like way closer to 1 million bits than I thought we were gonna get.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the support this last 5 days.
We appreciate everybody who appreciates us.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I think we've all noticed from these stories that I'm not really fit to do a normal job. I'm far too oppositional.
Yeah.
And I get to work here with these lovely people, some of whom have had wonderful and well-adjusted childhoods.
At least 2 of them.
Who've had similar childhoods. You know, I really appreciate that. And I'm glad that what we do brings you a little bit of joy.
Yeah.
And that hopefully that we can bring you more joy later.
Also, I saw people talking about using mane and tail in the chat. What's up, fellow horse girls? God, yeah, my horse girl era was a mistake.
You had a horse girl era?
Oh yeah, against my will. My grandparents.
Against your will.
My grandparents are like.
You were held at horse point?
Yeah. My grandparents own multiple horses and always have my entire life. And so my grandmother, like I was a unicorn kid. Specifically a unicorn kid, not a horse kid.
Okay.
But my grandmother was like, well, she must love horses.
Yeah, that's just the unicorn without the horn.
Yeah.
Did she put a horn on any of the horses to make you love them?
I used to, she had a horse named Sabrina, and she had like a little white spot, and I was like, that's where the horn goes. She's just hiding. She's a unicorn.
Aww.
But so my grandmother was like, yeah, like I'm gonna start paying for horseback riding lessons, and I'm like, all right, cool. And I was very good at it. Like I used to be competitive, and I would like sweep. I would always be on the podium. But then I was like, when are we gonna start doing the fun stuff? Like I want to start doing the archery because I want to be Legolas. So then I started like working on the jumping, and then working on like getting the arrow, like getting the bow on the saddle, and then I eventually just like quit because I was like, this is too hoity-toity. The horse girls are starting to actually be horse women, and I'm out of here.
You're just like, these people, like I'm in it for the shooting bows off a horse because that's rules, and you're in it because you're rich.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was a very weird.
You'd meet a lot of people with double-barreled last names.
Yep. Oh god.
2 hyphens.
Ptolemy Checo was probably the worst one. It was like 17 characters. Yeah.
Did you do archery not on a horse?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. My grandparents have like a very big farm, and they have an arena, and so they have like axe throwing and like archery and like guns that you can just like shoot whenever you feel like it. It's really great. I wish that they weren't COVID deniers, because otherwise they're very decent people. But yeah, it was one of those things where it was like, it's not my dream, it's yours.
Oh no.
But my mom the girl of all time, was just like, she doesn't want to do it anymore. Like, stop forcing her, stop buying her these. My mother is very much Lorelai Gilmore. Like,
Oh, nice.
like it is
Yeah.
freakishly.
I've never met your mom, but
Yeah, but the vibes are.
Yeah, I get the feeling that you have that Lorelai Rory
Which
thing going
sucks,
on.
because that means that I'm Rory, which means that I suck.
It just means you have more growth to do as a character.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When
but
they
Rory-
return to Gilmore Girls.
Yeah,
and
she still
then
sucks
Rory-
in
worse.
that.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
she's
really?
worse.
Yeah.
I thought. Oh, I didn't. I've never watched the Gilmore Girls very
Yeah.
seriously. I didn't realize they'd already gone back to that well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A
Yeah,
while
they
ago, actually.
they did a Netflix
It was a Netflix
four
four-episode series.
episodes that are way too long.
Yeah.
They were like, the whole thing was like the 4
Yeah.
seasons of the year.
Then they didn't have the snappy dialogue.
Oh no,
No, it was
that
there.
was
It's
still
just
all
like
great.
scenes went on too long. Like the time limit of actually being on TV would have been nice.
Yeah.
Would have really helped, I think.
Yeah. I just, like, as much as I'm like, yeah, Alexis Bledel, you and I, giant forehead gang. Like, yeah, Rory sucks. Rory has never been in a relationship where she didn't cheat.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
there's two things that happens to a gifted kid. You either develop anxiety or become a terrible person.
Oh.
We all went
Anxiety
Camp
keeps
A.
your power in
Yeah,
check.
exactly. She just went for like full on, like she went from big fish to small pond and then threw tantrums, or big fish and small pond to small fish and giant lake,
Right.
and threw tantrums about it the whole time.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Some people don't adjust to not being incredibly special.
Yeah, and then in the return, she was very like, kind of, like, everything bad is happening to me and it's not my fault, even though
It is
she's
kind of
doing
your
some
fault.
stuff that's really not helping her at all.
Yeah. I will say the one thing that they handled amazing was the passing of Richard's actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they made him pass in the show as well, and it was beautiful. That was like the best part.
What's his wife's name in the show?
Emily.
Emily.
Yeah.
I really liked Emily during that
Yeah.
scene where she went out and she found her own thing to do.
Yeah.
Like that was really nice.
The show is so good. I try to watch it every fall because it's just such a fall show. But yeah, Sam Supernatural playing someone named Dean is very funny every time.
I ate Pop-Tarts because of that show.
Yeah.
Woo, rock
Pop-Tarts
pusher.
are so gross.
That's the pizza. That's the
Whoa.
pizza party.
Oh, wow.
I think,
And-
right?
Oh,
And we just got some subs from Urban Samurai as well.
Urban, thank you so much. Yep,
Yeah,
there it
there we
is.
go.
Oh, it's nice. Okay, so it's an ice cream cone.
Hey.
Pizza get. All right.
Yay, we get lunch.
We get lunch. Do
I'm
we
so-
get dessert? And then
I'm okay with
do
not
we
getting
get,
dessert.
Yeah, I don't care.
Do I get my just dessert? See what
I
did
don't
there?
personally need ice cream, so don't.
I don't
like-
personally need you to get pelted with water balloons
No.
either. I like the fact that a couple weeks in a row I just said random things and people were like, we should do that.
should,
Like,
yeah.
I don't know why you keep agreeing.
Will Surge 1v1 a treats a pizza? That's up to you, chat.
I hope so.
I'm
Yo,
partially up
Jelly
to Surge.
Yeet. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs. That's 5,000 subs over the last 5 days. That's 1,000 subs a day.
Jackie Lantern says
Jesus.
that regardless of what we feel, they need you to get pelted.
That I mean that's.
Oh, that's
yeah.
fair. And you can have those feelings. Anyone who needs James to get pelted with water balloons, that's very valid. I just don't personally need that.
That's fair.
I already got my validation by saying, can we put him in a dunk tank? And everyone was like, we probably could. We might need to scale that back. So,
Yeah. Heather's already put the idea out into the world.
yeah.
She's already been rewarded.
Yeah.
Who's currently bad at golf? I think I am currently in possession of the scorecard.
Yeah. Also, Lord Hosk earlier said that Logan was the right guy for Rory, and what's it like being correct? He was the only. He was the right one.
Which one was he? Because there was the
He
bad
was
boy.
the Life and Death Brigade guy.
Oh,
He's-
him.
yeah, he's-
Yeah, he would have been fine. His dad was an ass, though.
Yeah. Well, it brought in the parallel that he was Lorelai and she was Christopher, which was like, ooh. so goosebumps because yeah, she had like the same upbringing as her own father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there was anything because she chose not to be with him because she wanted to like pursue a career or something, right?
Yeah, he wanted her to be like a housewife after a
Yeah,
certain
which
point.
like I can kind of get behind. I personally think I would have noped out just because of how hard the grandparents were pushing
Yeah, that's fair.
when that kind of thing is happening.
My favorite thing about loving Gilmore Girls and also loving Saw is
Is
this that the guy that plays Luke is a detective in Saw, so it's always so totally different to see him there.
That's his day job.
Yeah, I'm like, my headcanon is that they're twins and they just live very different lives.
Oh, they're estranged from one another.
there's
Who's
a
sending postcards and which one's not writing back?
there's a movie that Rory's actor ends up in that I think works better if you think of her as still Rory, even though she's not, where she comes back and she's just mad about like her somebody getting married and like all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And that one was actually really good.
Yeah. Well, she was in Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Was she?
Yeah. It was like her, Blake Lively.
America Fiera.
Yeah.
Who was the fourth one?
Some goth girl. Like, it was like the goth girl of the time. Oh, I forgot her name.
It's a void in my mind.
Yeah.
But I can see all their God, the way people that used to dress back in the day. I can see all of their ridiculous promotional clothing.
Yeah. Well, and also, I just remember watching that and them being like, America is like considered fat in that movie, and I'm like,
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
because there's a clip of it going around on social media now, because then all the kids are like coming and like, oh, this is such a good movie, we should watch it. Why has no one seen it? And I was like, because it came out like 20 years ago. But yeah, they're like, do you think pants that could fit you are gonna fit all this? And I'm like,
It's like, okay. Amber Tamblyn.
that's
Oh.
it.
Somebody said, when is the detective ever writing back instead of pounding whiskey and breaking rules? I have a book recommendation. So a couple of, just to rewind, because when I was doing the flavor text for Murders at Karloff Manor, it was a detective thing. So I was like, I'm going to read a detective novel.
Yeah.
I'm going to get the vibes. I'm going to go back to the classics. And so you'll either have, you have sort of your Dashiell Hammett or your Raymond Chandler. So I picked Raymond Chandler because this was just for my own elucidation. I wasn't being paid to do this or anything.
Yeah.
And it turns out Raymond Chandler, what a good writer.
Yeah.
I was like, I could give, personally, going into it, I was sort of dreading it because I was like, I don't care about the 1940s. I don't care about like pulpy detective novels. I don't care about tropey characters. Like I don't like these things. I have never chosen to engage with them before in my life, but I can plow through a book fairly quickly. And I ended up reading several of his books. They were so good. He's very good at describing things, and I can very much sympathize with him when they're like, hey, you really need to hit your deadline. And he's like, all right, I'm going to go get blackout drunk, and I'm going to come back with a book.
Hell yeah.
Not with the drinking part, just with the, you know what really actually focuses my mind is stress.
Yep. Felt. My great grandmother recently bought me just a whole bunch of Agatha Christie books.
Nice.
And it was very sweet. They went to like an Amish market that has like a secondhand bookstore, and Miss 91-year-old Hazel, just like armfuls of books, and she's like, these are going to be so nice for Jordan. She's so cool. I have a tattoo of her on my arm. That's
Oh yeah, the heart. Yeah.
Yeah, my great grandmother, whenever she gives me cards, she puts this little. I mean, I can show it because I'm very cheesy. She draws
Yeah, I
this.
see what you're doing, and that's a great idea.
She draws this on all of my cards, and so I got it tattooed because I want her to see it before she goes. And we always say we love each other to the moon and back, so there's a moon on the back.
Aww.
Jeez, gross. When I showed it to her, she was like, did you get that tattooed? And I'm like, yeah. She's like,
Why?
she was like, I could have drawn it better.
Oh, but it's not the same.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a charm into the quickness.
Yeah. Well, she's very, very old, very, very frail lady. And she's a little badass. She got breast cancer a couple of years ago and got a mastectomy and then got it again in the other boob, and she was like, "Oh, thank God, I felt so uneven." I'm like, go off, queen.
I don't know, if they're like, one boob's gotta go, I'd be like, take them both.
Please take them both, yeah.
Like, I don't want to come back and do this again. I'm busy.
She's so cool.
Yeah, so the way to decrease the count, the ice cream count, is the exact same way that the timer went up. So subs and bits, take it down by 1.
Although, if they're like, hey, you have arm cancer and the left one's got to go, I don't think I'd say, well,
No,
take
yeah,
just
no,
in
please
case.
don't even it out.
Yeah.
Well, no, you don't want to even out the arm, but maybe take the other leg so that I'm not so lopsided.
Oh, God.
I think you could pick up any Raymond Chandler book and enjoy it. People asking in chat which one I recommended. I read The High Window. I read a couple of short stories. I read The Long Goodbye. They're all good. I quite like The High Window, actually.
I've heard of that one.
Really?
Yeah.
That one, I do think it's good. The description the description is lavish.
Ooh.
It's like, I was like, after I finished reading it, I was like, I want to go to 1940s LA. Damn
Yeah.
it! This doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other good books. I've recently been in like a celebrity memoir kick.
Ooh.
Oh, have
Those are
you,
fun.
Read the what's it? I can't. I'm glad my mom's dead.
Yeah.
I got that for Christmas and read it, and it's fantastic.
I feel it may be slightly traumatizing
Yeah.
for me, so I'm kind of avoiding it.
It's a very good audiobook.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. She did podcasts for a while too, actually, which was really interesting. Just like 20-minute episodes, and it was just her talking. It wasn't like a conversation with somebody else. It was really good, actually. But yeah, that's a great book.
I listened to the Paris Hilton one because I love her, minus the NFT stuff. But you know what? Everybody makes mistakes. Hers was really good. Also amazing as an audiobook because she puts all of her like inflections and voices on it. Page Boy, Elliot Page's book, was okay.
Ooh. A hot take.
Yeah, like it was fine. It really could have dealt with any sort of like putting it in chronological order or any order. It was very rambly. It was very well written, but just very poorly put together.
Seth Rogen put out a book last year or 2 years ago. Can't remember what it was called. It's very short and it's just a bunch of like stories, but it's a lot of fun.
The new RuPaul one was like actively bad.
Really?
Yeah. It was literally just, I wanted to be famous, so I became famous.
Okay.
That
Good
is
for
my
you.
book. Yeah. I think it's because he's written like 4 autobiographies already, so at this point he's just like, I am here for the paycheck.
Shadow Master says Spare could have benefited from a couple more years of therapy. I would not touch that family with a 50-foot pole.
Yeah, RuPaul does suck for many reasons. Speaking of the queen.
Oh.
Though I do like I think it was like a Jimmy Fallon interview where he was like, so like, what's it like being the most famous drag queen? And Rue's like, drag queen? A drag queen? And you could see Jimmy Fallon being like, oh no.
What did I say?
Yeah.
What did I say?
And Rue's like, I'm the queen of drag. And you can see him just visibly like, oh, okay. We avoided getting canceled again, ladies and gentlemen.
Ugh.
Yeah, he does eat in But I'm a Cheerleader. He plays like a conversion camp counselor in his like little shorty shorts. God, that movie is so good. Natasha Lyonne, how are you a heterosexual? God fucked up making you.
It's all right. Everyone makes mistakes.
Yeah.
It's okay. No judgment.
Yeah. It's just one of those things where it's like, I think, got 90% of the way and then just like forgot to put the gay into her and then just shipped her.
It's like, she's already so full.
Yeah. All the points went towards hair.
Speaking of mysteries, there was that mystery show that she was in. Did anybody watch that?
No, but
Which one?
Natasha Lyonne was in a
Russian
mystery show
Doll?
that was on
Oh,
Russian Doll. It
yeah.
was on Netflix. Was that good?
I watched the first season. It was quite good. I don't know. I didn't watch the second season, and I don't know if it was good. Wait, yeah, that's what it was called. I don't know if the second season was any good or not.
Interesting.
Poker Face was excellent, though. Poker Face was very good. But that's a different show.
What are you watching right now, James?
Nothing. Currently, nothing new. I want to watch, we've been meaning to get back to Strange New Worlds, season 2 of the new Star Trek
Yeah, that's
series. But I think it's not, I think it's on like Paramount Plus in Canada, and I don't have Paramount Plus, so I need to figure out another way to watch it. So that's the one that I would like to start watching.
That's the TV watching experience in Canada. It's like, can I watch that legally?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
And
so
like
much
I want
stuff.
to. I like watching things legally. But yeah, I don't think it's on Crave anymore.
I think half of my internet searches sometimes now are just name of TV show, streaming, Canada.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
You guys should look into your local library because a lot of them have streaming services.
It's true, they do. It's not bad for like some older movies. I don't think it has anything that's more recent.
I got all of Interview with the Vampire on mine, and I was like, "This is based. Let's
Nice.
go!"
Ooh, the new one too, right?
Yeah.
Look for that because that's technically so that one is streaming on Amazon Prime, but you have to have AMC Plus
Yeah.
on your Prime. Amazon Prime really messes me up because it's like you go into their interface
Yes.
and you can't tell what you actually can watch versus what you have to rent versus a different subscription you have to have on top.
Yep.
Yeah.
Streaming sucks.
But Amazon Prime's great for giving money to streamers,
It is, yes.
specifically for dilly bars.
Yeah. I was going to say something, and then I got distracted by my own head and thought about something completely different.
Felt.
Why am I still yawning?
Because you've only had 3 cups of coffee.
Yeah, well, 2.5. That's fine. It's fine. All right. Well, it's almost 8 o'clock.
Almost.
Our time is coming to a close.
You said there was an hour and a half left of this earlier, and I almost had a panic attack. I
Yeah,
was like, we're
and
going to
then-
have to learn a second thing about my childhood at 9 a.m., James. Jesus.
Yeah, and then about like a sentence later, he said half an hour.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're yapping with pals.
Hell yeah.
This has been lovely. Thank you so much for allowing me to come on.
Yeah, this has been a fun week with all these morning streams. I've enjoyed them.
Yeah.
I think if we run the Sub-A-Thon back again, we will probably definitely keep doing these because they're a chill way to start the morning. And I think 2 hours is like the perfect amount of time.
Yeah.
I think 3 would be too much. I know that you would all probably happily take another hour of this, but
But we don't need this to turn into one of Graham's podcasts.
I honestly, I'm very much vibing on getting to just chitty chat with people. Like I'm never on a stream with Heather, and I'm never on a stream with James.
Yeah.
And I feel like I try to be on streams with you, Jordynne,
Yeah.
honestly. But
Yeah.
like still, that's like once every 4 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still like a CTS generally, or
Yeah.
I don't count those in the same way because like a Jackbox stream isn't.
No.
There's not enough time for chitty chatting.
Exactly.
There's so many people that it's hard.
Yeah.
yeah, all 3, the 3 of us are all wearing New Balance. Somebody just pointed out. Jordynne,
yeah.
It's
I
a
didn't
good
get the
show.
dress code.
God damn it, Jordynne.
I mean, in defense of me, I was like, I've got very thin feet and I have to have insoles. What shoes can I wear? And they said, these and these.
Yeah.
And I said, do they come in black? If these and these, I'll take those. Kathleen missing just chatting with the friendos. I know.
Yeah. Well, that's like really hard with me being in Ontario. Is like I made a joke to Graham, and Graham was like, no, and I'm like, because I said, I'm like, man, sometimes I feel like I'm almost parasocial with all of you.
Dude, that honestly happened to me over the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like I watched, especially like Adam and Serge.
Yeah.
Like I watched so much of their streams that coming out of it, I was like, oh, this is a weird relationship now because we haven't really talked for like a year and a half all
But
that
you
much.
know so much.
But I know everything about you.
Yeah.
This is a weird feeling. Catan, was it? Catan Glover? Thank you
Yeah.
for the 13 gifted subs.
Thank
I really
you.
appreciate that.
Good shit. Good job.
All right, I'm gonna walk into the broadcast booth and hit the buttons and stuff. Y'all say goodbye.
Bye, chat.
Bye.
It was very nice hanging out with you.
Yeah. That's been a blast.
All right, so we're gonna send it over to Ian, and I think actually I am gonna be the first person driving a forklift, so
Yeah.
I'll be back in just a minute. Hold tight, everybody.
All right.
He's gonna need more coffee.
Yeah, sure is.